The Canadian Mental Health Association, the Brandon Friendship Centre, and Habitat for Humanity, we purchased this building to tear down so that we have green space for our Massey building development, which will have 58 housing units in it. What I want to show to the public and to the government is the conditions of some of the low rental situations in the city of Brandon, conditions which we find very much unacceptable. Say, for example, the apartment we're in right now, it was rented to a senior couple. The lady was in a walker, and they had lived here for, I don't know, 8-10 years, something like that. In these conditions, as you can see, the landlord was not putting money into this building, the absolute minimal amount. And what really upsets me is the fact that this landlord was bragging to me that that we could make money off this building by renting it for a year, because he was netting about $1,500 per month off this building. But these are the conditions that he's allowing people to live in. So that is a concern, why we think there needs to be a greater enforcement of basic health, fire safety, and building standards in the city of Brandon. So some of the conditions in the place that concern us is, like, even if you look at the poor insulation value, we're looking at single pane windows. We're looking at paint which has just been peeling off the walls, carpet which has been filthy. If you look at the flooring here in the kitchen, it's worn right through to nothing, to other layers. So this hasn't, in order to wear out linoleum, that's a lot of years of wear where the landlord has not replaced anything. If we go into the bedroom here, you'll see that all along, the top of the ceiling, it looks like mold all the way around. You have a bathroom off this side, right off the kitchen, but everything is of a very just shows an absolute lack of maintenance and repair by the landlord specifically. In here, this is the entrance to all the suites here, and I'm only going to take you through to the ones which were rented on social assistance rates. But this is, when we purchased this building, we wanted to preserve it the way it was so we can show the public. There was no cleaning with regards to this building. If you look at running down these stairs here, believe it or not, we actually cleaned this up somewhat because it was just too bad. And it's absolutely filthy, but we got rid of, old shoes and stuff at the bottom of these stairs. It was just, it's absolutely filthy right now. It was even worse. So in the bedroom here, what is a concern for me is, again, like you look at the floor where the tiles have lifted. There's no way on earth you could possibly clean this floor. This is, bedrooms are supposed to have a fire escape egress. Like, there's no way on earth you're going to get through this window, which is loaded with insulation, which is too small to get out. And even if you got through that, there is a steel grate on top of that. So you can't get that out. Get out of there. This is another situation. This hole, the size of this hole was not here initially when we purchased this building. The reason why we broke away part of this is because there was mold growing on here, which was very unhealthy. But the landlord, the tenant, was always complaining about the leak from upstairs. And you can see it's basically from the tub drain. And so what the landlord did was give the tenant a bucket to put underneath. So that's how we dealt with it, not fix it, which is just a simple little problem and replace a little bit of drywall, but instead the tenant was to keep on emptying the bucket. because of the leak. This is one of the larger units down here, but again, this is in the living room here, and it's the same concept. You've got a bigger window here, but when you're looking at trying to get out of here, you've got a metal grate over the window well. So in a very real sense, you are locked in here with regards to a fire egress. There is no second way out of this basement apartment. But this is the nicer of the apartments down here. Now, if we go down the hallway here, I'll take you to some of the other ones. In the last apartment we saw, at least that one, even though it didn't have a second means of egress, it did have its own bathroom. The other two apartments down here had to share this bathroom. And like, you're supposed to have a fire separation on the ceiling. This is not a fire separation on a ceiling. This is highly combustible material. And again, you look at the condition of this place, it is just, there has been nothing that's been done to this place. Like, to take a shower in here, like, oh Lord. You've got, for example, in the shower here, you don't even have a waterproof material above the shower. You have a piece of some type of board, cardboard board up there. And this is where the boiler is located in this bathroom. But this is the what people would have to use. Now, if we go down further here, we have another unit. You have your most basic of basic of a small little ancient stove, fridge, where you don't have a door on the ice box at all, so you can't really keep anything frozen in there. There is absolutely no even window in this one room because it's taken up by vents. But this is again a rental unit, and it would have been using the other shared bathroom. Now, this is the third apartment in the basement of this unit. Again, if we look for fire separation, that's not fire separation, that's not drywall, that is a highly combustible material. In order to be able to use this stove, it's very difficult. You have a similar situation here where you have a window out this side, well, actually this one you might be able to get out of. I haven't checked to see if there is a metal grate on this one. I'd have to check on that from the outside. But again, the place is a fire trap. All three apartments down here are fire traps because there aren't fire separations. Now, on the other hand, what was used as a justification for not having those means of egress was that you would go up this set of stairs up here, and then you would have to get out in this way. Now, that door actually opened now that it's summertime. I was out here in the wintertime, and I was pounding on that panic bar and couldn't get anything out of it. But again, the whole thing is totally unacceptable. And what's the most unacceptable about this is that the landlord was making money from this. You know, approximately $1,500 per month net. And that is unacceptable. And sometimes that is exactly the situation why there are good landlords out there. There's a lot of good landlords out there, but there are slumlords slumlords in the city of Brandon who rent facilities like this, and this is not acceptable. It's more important that more desirable to have to fund agencies or not-for-profit organizations who are committed to providing good housing. Because if we just leave it to the private market, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have a lot of slum dwellings because the numbers do not work frequently. And when they actually do work for a building, well, I can't say frequently, but times like this, the owner actually pockets the money and doesn't fix up the place regardless, and which forces people to live in very unacceptable conditions.